things, how many, social distancing. And he goes, well, you only had 3 people.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Are you facilitating?
I am not facilitating to my knowledge. I think I am on the top 5 reasons for a small institution.
So you are a panelist.
Yes, that would have been a
Okay.
lot easier to say.
And you started the broadcast. Am I correct?
Uh, I I did not start the broadcast. I just joined in
Hmm.
on this one.
Okay. Well, it's recording, so that's good. How many panelists are there?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Are we all here?
No,
Okay.
so you had to change the name.
Since we have a couple minutes, you guys can appreciate this. We just got our voicemail goes to our email. So I just got a voicemail on my email that said, I'd like to talk to Katie. Let's go. Like it's like an angry mom, but she's not really angry. I think she's being nice. I'm not really sure. And so I just said it to my mother and said, I should have kept my maiden name. Like you just can't get mad at Cooney, but let's go. You can kind of get some feeling behind. My mother's like, why is she mad at you? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. But sends me all these emails.
I have a few housekeeping items that I need to go over. My name is Stacy. I'm going to be your facilitator. Welcome to the panel. We will start broadcasting the session right at the top of the hour, so directly at 3 o'clock. I'll begin with an opening slide and a few housekeeping announcements. Then I'll stop sharing my screen, turn off my video, which I didn't even turn on, and turn it over to you guys. We will end right at the 45 minutes past the hour. I'll turn my video back on and share the final housekeeping slide. Okay, we'll record the presentation and make it available for all the students who have registered, as well as those who could not attend and want to watch it on demand. Just a reminder to mute yourself if you are not actively speaking. StriveScan will send you the list of the students registered for the session and a transcript of all the questions that are submitted in the Q&A, and that will be within a week. Students will ask their questions via the Q&A. You can go ahead and click the Q&A button now to open the window. We recommend that you do not click the Answer Live button. That will share the student's full name and question with the entire audience. Instead, we recommend that you simply repeat the question aloud and for the entire audience and answer it verbally. Then you can click the Dismiss button to hide the question. You can also type your response by clicking Type Answer button, but we also recommend that you send it privately by selecting that Send Privately button. You may not get to every question, and that's okay. You'll just receive a transcript of all the questions that were submitted by StriveScan to follow up with those students at a later time. If you get a lot of questions, you might want to acknowledge that and let them know that you will be responding after the live event. Are you sharing your screen? Whoever is sharing your screen as a panelist, I recommend that you go ahead and try to share your screen now and test it out. Any panelists can start sharing. As you start sharing, you will override my screen. And just a heads up for the end of the session, when the session is done, I'll end the webinar, and that will disconnect all of us. So we won't be able to chat afterwards. So I want to thank you ahead of time in advance for your participation in this StriveScan virtual college event. Okay, so I'm going to start. Did someone want to go ahead and share their screen?
Yes, I'm going to share my screen right now. Can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go into present mode. Let me know if you see me clicking through. Can everyone see that clicking through?
No,
Or
I
is
see
it
frozen.
frozen? Uh-oh. Can you see the Kahoot screen? Okay, that's a problem. So no one sees it clicking through at all. Great. Can someone else share? Since we don't have a lot of time. I have the Kahoot on my end, but if the
Can you, what happens if I share? Do
Do you want me to try sharing? And
yes,
okay. I just didn't know what the,
if someone else can.
so you clicked present. That's my slide. Can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see it.
So with that, the Kahoot, do you need to send me a link to, or can you just share the Kahoot one really quick?
Let me see if I can share screen. Yeah.
I'll stop share.
See it go?
Yep.
Okay, so then I can just share over you, and then once we're done with the Kahoot, you can hit share, and then it'll cut me out.
Perfect. This will stop the other. So I hit yes, and then I just go there.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You could. All right, if you guys could stop sharing, I need to go ahead and broadcast and start sharing my own screen, okay?
I think. Right.
Hi, welcome to the New Jersey Association of College Admissions Counseling live webinar. I am Stacy. I will be your facilitator. I want to go over a few housekeeping items here. This session will end promptly after 45 minutes. It is being recorded. If you haven't already, as you enter, please go ahead and put yourself on mute if you are not actively speaking. Oh, this is for panelists. I'm so sorry. Sorry. If you want to ask a question, your visitors, please go ahead and type that question into the Q&A that you see on your screen. That will alert the panelists that there is a question, and they will get to it if they are able to. It is recorded, so they will be able to answer that for you. Your camera and your microphone are off. You are muted, and your video will not show who you are. The panelists cannot see or hear you. Please go ahead and log on to www.njacac.org/virtual fair so you can view all of the upcoming sessions that we have available to our students and counselors. Sign up for as many sessions as you would like. The recording of this session will in fact be available to all of the participants or anyone that did sign up approximately a week from now. And you will have that availability if you log on to www.njacac.org/virtual fair. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our panelists.
So thank you for joining us today. We have 5 different colleges here, and our goal is to talk to you about the small colleges impacting your future. We're going to introduce ourselves and then head straight into that presentation because there's a lot of information to absorb. Please ask your questions in the Q&A chat, and we will either address them as we go if it fits, or otherwise we'll definitely save time for the Q&A at the end. And we're really excited to share our information and to be able to exchange information with you. So Zach, do you want to take it away?
Thanks, Katie. Hey, everybody. My name is Zach Maurer. I'm the admissions counselor at Drew University. If you're from Mercer County, Monmouth, Ocean, or the city of Newark, or if you're from Rockland or Westchester County in New York, I'm your admissions counselor. I'm also a Drew alum.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Chobor. I am one of 3 admissions counselors at St. Elizabeth University. I primarily cover the South Jersey region as well as Pennsylvania and any other out-of-state applicants that we may get. I'm also our events coordinator.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Douglas Ulrich. I'm one of the assistant directors of admission here at Ursinus College, and I primarily cover in the New Jersey area, the Central Jersey, all the way down to the South Jersey area.
Hi everyone, my name is Morgan Sim. I'm an admissions counselor at Bloomfield College. I cover areas such as Bergen, Camden, Morris, Mercer, and parts of Essex County. So if you're from there, you probably will see me in any of your virtual sessions.
Hi everyone, my name is Kiana Frazier. I am one of the admissions counselors at St. Elizabeth University. I am primarily cover Essex County. So if you're from there, I'm your counselor. I am also a St. Elizabeth alumni.
Couldn't find my mute button. My name is Katie Lesko, and I am at the College of St. Rose, which is up in Albany, New York. And my territory is New Jersey, as well as the Delaware and Maryland area. So that's why we put Jersey in the mid-Atlantic world. And we are going to turn over to the next, got to get to my presenting slide. Here we go. We have a game to play with all of you for at least the beginning.
So if you're interested in playing Kahoot, I hope that you guys have ever played Kahoot before. If you go to www.kahoot.it, you guys can put in the game pin and we will start our game. So go ahead and join, and we just have a few questions before we get started. All right, so we're going to get started. True or false? Having the option to study abroad or perform research is important to my college selection process. True. Great. So we're going to go on to the next question. True or false? Not being just a number is important to me. Awesome. We have a few more questions. Quiz. What campus experience are you most interested in? Internships. Awesome. True or false? You would want the school you attend to support you beyond graduation. True. We definitely want that. All right, last two questions. True or false? Diversity should be a factor when looking at a school. Definitely true. And for our last question, who would you want your main source of support to be from? Professors and other staff. Awesome. Thanks for participating, guys. Now we're going to get right into our presentation.
That was great. Thanks, Morgan. And a lot of great information. We're going to talk a little bit more about each of those pieces as we get through the rest of the presentation. So, Doug, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Katie, and thank you, Morgan, for running that game for us. And guys, the reason that we ask those questions is because it's going to give a nice little, not to sound too coincidental, but a nice foundation for this presentation. We're going to go over a lot of things. So though we are all different in certain ways, a lot of us share so many different similarities. So we're going to cover that beginning with the academic foundations as we kind of continue on to this first slide. And specifically here at Ursinus College, we are a top 100 liberal arts institution, and that's kind of our foundation here. And that's the foundation for a lot of the schools that are going to be speaking today throughout this presentation. So there certainly are some stereotypes that come with a smaller education, but some of them are pretty accurate. But the one thing that we want to reassure you when you come to a smaller institution is that you guys aren't coming for a cookie cutter education. This is a well-rounded, this is a thought-provoking type of education that you're going to get. We want you guys to be critical thinkers. We want you to be problem solvers. We want you to be able to communicate effectively and efficiently, whether that's through writing an essay, writing an email, or through public speaking. Those are all the different things that we're going to prepare you for here throughout our smaller schools. There certainly is an adaptability aspect as well. When you come here again, you guys are not one-trick ponies. We want to push you to turn all of your passions into profession. So specifically here at Ursinus, and I think that a lot of my peers can probably say the same, many of our students are going to be a double major or attach a minor to their major program of study. You guys have so many different interests, as you guys just answered that throughout those questions, but we want you to capitalize on that as much as you can. And that does lead into a lot of continued learning, whether it is here at Ursinus and attaching those different programs that you want to study, or continuing on to a master's or a PhD program, or whatever it may be after you graduate, whether that's right after graduation or maybe a couple years down the line. And the way that we do that here specifically at Ursinus is through what we call the Ursinus Quest. Now, think of that more so of a philosophical book club, right? We have these requirements that students have to read, but we understand that not everybody's going to take that same passage or that same reading and understand it the same way. You guys are all coming from different backgrounds, and nobody was raised the same exact way. And that's that beauty of that written and oral communication, because that's how the real world works. That's how you have to come together. Now, with that being said, the way that we prepare our students for that at a lot of these small institutions is by connecting with the advisors, connecting with your professors, connecting with your staff members. That last question that you answered of what's most important for you, this is what comes to life here at these smaller institutions. So specifically speaking to Ursinus, we do have a very close-knit community here. The average class size is about 15. Your student-to-faculty ratio is about 11-to-1. And as you guys can come to expect through this presentation, this is real. Though we are through a webcam, we want to get to know you guys. Each and every school that's here today wants to get to know you. It's going to make this process from transitioning from college or a high school student to a college student as seamless as possible. And it's going to start you on your career path here to explore some of your academic interests, to explore some of the professions that you want to get into. Now, Zach's going to take this away in a moment for me, but touching on it first, we do have something here at all of our schools that's kind of called our experiential learning. Now, when you're looking at schools, each and every school is going to say, well, you can do an internship if you want, or you can do a study abroad if you want, but if it's not a requirement and you don't have to take advantage of it, you might be missing out on some real world experience. So here at Ursinus, we have what's called the XLP, or the Experiential Learning Project, that offers 6 separate opportunities for our students. And you can see them right there: student research and internship, study abroad, creative projects, civic engagement, and student teaching. The beauty of that, though, is that you're not limited to just one. You can do 2 or 3 to get that real world experience before you graduate. But I don't want to take too much of Zach's power away. I'm going to pass this off to him, but that's the foundation of what we do here at these small schools.
Thanks, Doug. So as Doug was mentioning, a big part of studying at a smaller liberal arts institution are the experiential learning opportunities that you're going to have. You're going to have so many chances that you might not get at a larger university. And when you think of experiential learning, it's so much more than just studying abroad for a semester. And specifically here at Drew, we seamlessly integrate these different experiences into your learning. We don't want you to jump through hoops to want to go study abroad, or if you want to go for an internship or learn about research. Among your time at Drew specifically, we make it part of your graduation requirement to have at least 2 off-campus experiences. Specifically for us here, and I can also speak to my other colleagues as well, you're going to have so many opportunities to study abroad, where it's such a unique opportunity for you to take what you learned in the classroom and to apply it to the outside world. Part of what we have here at Drew, specifically for us, we have our Launch Your Future, and how we integrate that with your experiential learning is crucial. We believe in it so much. As I mentioned, we brought it into your education. You have so many different options to get this type of learning off campus. We have, for example, you could do your traditional study abroad, but specifically at Drew, we have access to New York City. For us, we have a train station right in the middle of our town of Madison. The town is a 10-minute walk. The train is a 45-minute train ride directly into Penn Station. We have access to New York City semesters for students interested in business, political science, social entrepreneurship, theater, museumology. And we're always looking to add to these opportunities because we know that getting that real life experience outside of the classroom in somewhere like New York, where you have that accessibility from Drew, is so extremely important. What we call our study abroad options, we call them our long track or our short tracks. So the long track is kind of your more traditional semester long option. What we see students who want to take advantage of the long tracks, one of our, an example of a very popular one that we have for our students here is, for example, our London semester. So we see students study here if you want to study things like history and theater, but we also make it really accessible for students to work with our global education department. If you want to study somewhere, outside of London, for example, like I mentioned earlier, we don't want to make you jump through hoops to study abroad and to get these different experiential learning opportunities. Our short treks, these are a really unique opportunity. These are 1 to 3 week study abroad options, where these take place during the January term, the spring term, and the summer term. We know at Drew that it's not always easy to study abroad for an entire semester, but you want to, study public health in South Africa, or you want to study photography and art in France, or go to Belize or London or Belgium and study financial markets. We make it accessible for our students to take these shorter, more condensed trips. And again, it really adds to your entire educational experience. If you're interested in things like the sciences, on the research side of things, we have 2 really unique programs here at Drew that really add to your learning experiences. We have RISE and DSSI. What RISE is, it's our retired industry specialists. So we have retired scientists who house their research at Drew, individuals who have decades of research. You as a first-year student, if you're in the sciences, you can start getting involved in research as soon as your first semester of your first year. You don't have to wait until you are an upperclassman. Such a unique opportunity to dive right in. DSSI semester, that is an opportunity for you to live at Drew for this summer, 5 to 6 week summer program where, again, you're doing research with faculty, you're doing research with scientists. So you're hitting the ground running with these different experiential learning opportunities. And along your path, as you're studying, whether it be off campus, an internship, or research, you're going to meet so many different types of people. You're gonna learn about so many different backgrounds and why everybody chooses the university that they want to be at. So this is, I'm going to pass it on to now our next panelist from St. Elizabeth's, and she's going to talk about diversity in small liberal arts colleges.
Thanks, Zach. So diversity plays a very important role when we're looking at our colleges. We might not realize it off the top of our heads, but when we dive into the academic programs and the opportunities that are offered at different colleges, diversity is a big part of that process. So diversity is huge. So here at Bloomfield College, we are ranked 14th in the nation by the U.S. News and World Report for Campus Diversity. We've been ranked 10th in the nation by the U.S. News and World Report for Economic Diversity as well. We are ranked #1 in New Jersey for moving students forward economically after graduation, and 96% of our students receive financial aid. Across the board, diversity demographics at small liberal arts schools are very high. At Bloomfield College, we have 47.5% are African American students, 32.5% are Hispanic. Drew University, 40% of undergraduate population are students of color. St. Elizabeth University, 40% of African American students and 29% are Hispanic. At the College of St. Rose, 42% of undergraduate population are students of color, and Ursinus College, 23% of students are students of color. So special programs that are offered at diverse schools. So when you're going to look at schools, it's important to know that you will want to have an academic program on your campus that's going to support you, where you're going to feel included. You're not going to feel like you're an outcast in any way. So at Bloomfield specifically, but also across many small liberal arts schools, we have programs such as the TRIO Student Support Services Program, McNair Scholars Program, and an EOF program. So the TRIO Stars Support Program is generally geared towards first-generation college students, as well as like low-income students, to help them navigate through college and graduate in an adequate time, usually within between 4 and 6 years. Academic coaching, advising, and educational workshops are available for those students as well, so they can get that one-on-one attention and be able to feel that support throughout their program. They also have graduate school and career advisement and assistance to help them get into the schools of their choice. We also have the McNair Scholars Program, which is pretty similar, again, geared towards those first generation low-income students, students of color that work with a faculty member for paid research opportunities, going to different conferences over the summer, and also helping them with graduate assistance and hopefully getting and going into a doctorate program. An EOF program is offered at most schools as well. It's called the Educational Opportunity Fund. This is a program that provides academic and financial support to students that are eligible. It's for New Jersey students, it's called the EOF program, and typically these students come from disadvantaged backgrounds as well. Again, you get that one-on-one support system, free tutoring and counseling services throughout your 4 years at the college. And it also leads into at the small institutions, you have a lot more opportunities for leadership. So with that, if you're going to a bigger school, you might not be able to get into a club or organization of your choice. You might not be able to get into any sororities or fraternities. They might have a cap at the amount of people that they can let in. But at small schools, you are not just a number, and you are always welcome to join any club or organization on campus. You're always welcome to get involved on any opportunity that is presented on campus. And with student life, this is the best opportunity for you to get involved, meet new friends, and feel included in your environment. So we have a lot of multicultural clubs and organizations where you get to learn about new people, make new friends, learn about different cultures across the board. So at Bloomfield specifically, we have a club for African Americans, we have a Haitian club, we have Show Your Colors, which is our LGBTQ club on campus. We also have Black Student Union and Latin American Club. So this is an opportunity for you to meet new people, get involved, learn about new cultures. Most schools also offer a multicultural week where you can get involved with different programs that are happening on campus. So they might have any picnics on their quads, or they might have a music day, or they might have a day where you can bring different foods from different cultures so you can try different things. And you also just meet new people and create those connections. So it's definitely a great way to learn about new people, get involved, and also be able to have well-rounded conversations with each other. When it comes to Greek life, at Bloomfield specifically, we have the Divine Nine, which is a historically Black Greek life organizations on our campus. So if you're interested in getting involved in those, you have the opportunity to do so. Not every campus offers that, so we want to make sure that when it comes to that diversity aspect, you have that opportunity on that campus. Also, when it comes to sororities and fraternities, a lot of students think that it's all about, the social aspect and the parties and all of that. But in reality, there's a lot more components to that, where it's leadership opportunities, getting involved on campus, volunteer opportunities. So there's really more to it than just wearing numbers and going to parties. So definitely keep that in mind. And then student government. So student government is also an opportunity for you to get involved on campus with not only your class and your clubs, but in general to basically run the school. So you can be a president, vice president, treasurer, secretary of your class or the school, like the whole student population as well. So at other schools, maybe you might not have gotten an opportunity to run for the vice president position or the president position. But here at smaller schools, you have that opportunity to join clubs, you have that opportunity to be in those leadership roles, and you have the opportunity as well to start clubs on campus. At Bloomfield, we have over 40 clubs on our campus, and I know at all of our schools, we have a multiple number of clubs and organizations on our campus. But if you have an idea that you want to come in with and you say, hey, I really want to start a business club, or I really want to start a bio club, or whatever the case might be, you can go to your student life leader and you can say, hey, listen, like, I really think that this club will be beneficial for our campus. And as long as you were to get a couple other students on board with you, you would write up basically like your own petition or constitution type of thing, where you present it and say, listen, this would be really beneficial for this campus. This is what we will do. These are the types of volunteer opportunities that will be able to take place. You can basically start your own club on the campus as well. And that might be a really great opportunity to put on your resume. It'll look good when you're looking for careers and internship opportunities. So this is definitely a great way to network and making sure that diversity is a really integrated part of your college search.
All right, so I know we've been talking a lot about support networks, so we're just going to dive in a little bit more with it. Being a small institution, everyone on, you can move to the next slide, I'm sorry. Being a small institution, everyone on campus really is here to support you and help you thrive and succeed. You have access to your professors without the worry of your appointment being canceled or you just being just a number. Here at St. Elizabeth, our student to faculty ratio is 11:1. We also offer tons of ways for you to make connections in your field of study or gain some experience by being a part of athletics or a club or organization, or even participating in our mentoring program. It allows you to create connections that won't just help you succeed in college, but after as well.
So as Kiana mentioned, and as my colleagues have mentioned throughout the course of this presentation, at St. Elizabeth University and across all of our institutions, we truly do care about your success. So for students who may fall slightly below our benchmark GPA, us at St. Elizabeth, we offer a 2-week free on-campus summer bridge program to help prepare incoming freshmen for that transition from high school to college life. So during these 2 weeks, you'll have the opportunity to earn up to 8 free credits before your fall semester even begins. So this will put you among the first in your class to really start building those connections with professors, with tutors, with advisors, and other members of our academic support staff. So when we evaluate your application, we'll be the ones to let you know if you qualify for this program. And if you do, I definitely think it's something to take advantage of. So another unique program that's offered at St. Elizabeth, and one that we highly encourage all freshmen to participate in, is our SEU Promise program. So this program begins your freshman year and runs throughout your entire 4-year journey with us. And during this time, you're making a promise to us that you will be as engaged as possible with all aspects of campus life. You'll be required to participate in 2 events per semester. And these events can range from advising appointments to attending resume building workshops and actively seeking internships. So while you're making this promise to us, we are making the promise back to you that if you're not employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation from SEU, we will hire you back on a paid internship while we help you find a job in your field or help you get into graduate school. So it truly is a special program, and it really does provide a wonderful safety net for our students. Again, really showing how those connections you make at SEU follow you after graduation. So before I pass this on to Katie to tie together everything that we covered, I just wanted to remind everybody that you can utilize that chat box to ask any questions that you may have had so far during the course of our presentation. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Katie to tie everything together.
Thank you so much. So you heard today about the foundation and experiential learning. You listened to us talk about our diversity at each of the different schools and specifically what kind of activities you can get involved in. Our support networks with some unique programs and a lot of general information. So I think that the key to what we're really pulling together here is the benefits to the small colleges. You're going to have academic foundation and experiential learning at bigger universities. You're going to have the diversity and the support networks. I think the difference in my 20 years of doing admissions work is how easy it is to access, how individualized it becomes for your experience, and how it will stay with you as you graduate. And so sometimes those big Rutgers football games are the best things to go to, but sometimes that's just one aspect and a small aspect of your college experiencing. Your classrooms that we talked about, the internships and the connections to New York City that we talked about. And all of our colleges have different programs that we've put together to satisfy all these needs. And we've done it in the small scale programs because we can cater to your needs as well. But you heard a lot of terms today. And so when you look at the different colleges, not each of us don't have the promise, the SEU promise, but we have something that might be similar like that. And a lot of times small colleges can create different programs like this because the academic side of the house is much more engaged with the administrative side of the house. So it feels like a much more comprehensive experience. And that's a lot of times what happens when you're looking at smaller schools. The key to it, what we see though, is that lifelong connections. So when you're looking at schools and you're thinking about those experiences and you're thinking about the learning and who you can rely on, you had said professors want to be a part of your experience when we did that Kahoot way back then. So you're at the center of what we do. And what you're doing is actually building out this network, and you're building out these connections to then be able to rely on them. What's nice about it, and we alluded to it a little bit, is once you're an alumni, you're always an alum. You can still go to those games wherever you go, but you can use the Career Center. And sometimes people don't realize that you can actually go back and use the Career Center. You can attend lectures. As an alumni, a lot of times you're able to get first tickets to different things that are happening on campus. One of my favorite ways to talk to students about research is going to LinkedIn and seeing what types of jobs are out there for people that were in the major at St. Rose. You know, they have St. Rose on their resume and they're connected to our college somehow. So you can follow colleges on LinkedIn and see what they're posting on the career, you know, on the career site. Those are great ways to be able to utilize a small school's network. And what I think we really pressed home today is the fact that it becomes your own individual experience. And that's what we want to leave you with. So thank you so much for being here today. And we've got some Q&As already, and then I'm going to get it to our contact slide. And hopefully you can see the benefits like we all experience. Hopefully you can see the benefits to those small schools as well. And the question answer. So let's see, we got one question in the box. It says, the question is, do you have partnerships with community colleges? That's a great question. Does anyone want to talk about the community college partnerships they might have at their institution?
So I can go first on that one, being that I am not a New Jersey school, but a Pennsylvania one. So we do have some partnerships with community colleges here in Pennsylvania, but no partnerships with any community colleges that are in the New Jersey area. We do have a lovely transfer coordinator who is always more than happy to talk to students from out of state, specifically New Jersey. We do see quite a few transfers coming in from New Jersey, but no contractual affiliations with any community colleges.
Perfect, thanks, Doug. Anyone else want to talk about that? We're all private schools. I say that, and then I think about Bloomfield, and I think that's right. Does anyone else want to talk a little bit about the transfer articulations that you might have? Are students still able, Zach, are students still able to take part of the treks if they transfer in? Does that work within their schedule to do something?
Sorry, I didn't unmute myself.
That's all right.
Yes, so we do have transfer students who do take part in the short treks. Everything that our non-transfer students are involved in, our transfer students can get involved in as well. So you don't miss out on anything at Drew being a transfer student. And just to kind of piggyback off of what my colleague Doug was saying regarding his university, over at Drew, we also have a very active transfer coordinator who she visits now virtually. She visits the local community colleges all around New Jersey, has very tight connections as well. So if anyone would like to connect later, I'd be more than happy to connect you with our transfer coordinator, Sunita.
And here at Bloomfield, we are a private school. We do have partnerships with all the, most of the community colleges in New Jersey. If you are a student that goes to a community college, you earn your associate's degree and you meet a certain EFC, estimated family contribution, potentially your tuition at Bloomfield would be extremely low. So it definitely just have to be based on each student's criteria is different, but we just make sure that you earn your associate's degree. We'll talk with your counselor at your community college, and you'll work with our transfer counselor here at Bloomfield College, and we'll make sure that all of your credits get fully transferred, and we would then talk about your financial aid package. So you can definitely keep that in mind, and we are very, very transfer friendly.
That's a great point. So some policies, some programs that we talk about are might be only first year starting off of the gate. But a lot of times within transfer policies, small private colleges have a little bit of a connection with their faculty members. So when you're working with that transfer coordinator, we would reach out to the faculty members, or we would look at your transcripts, reach out to the faculty members and see if we can maybe get some of those extra credits in there. That is the nice part about the smaller schools, is because you're able to have those conversations to try to to benefit you the most. And that, again, is an advantage to the small school. Kiana or Michelle, do you have anything to add?
I can jump in quickly just to touch on St. Elizabeth's transfer policy. So we do have connections with every community college in the state of New Jersey. Our transfer coordinator also works with students who just want to transfer in from a different institution. If they started somewhere their freshman year and they realized that that wasn't the best fit for them, he's more than willing to work with them as well. But as far as community colleges go specifically, he does have partnerships with all of them, and he has been scheduling virtual visits throughout the fall. So definitely be on the lookout for that if that's something that you're interested in. And then he's always happy to connect as well. And you can email me or Kiana after the presentation, and we can get you connected with him.
Great. Any other questions? That was the only question that came in, but is there any other questions that anyone has? You can just put it in that chat. Hold on one second, sorry. My dog just came in and the mailman's coming, so hold on.
I feel like I can take over for you for a second on that one, Katie. So as Katie is dealing with the multitude of issues, guys, please feel free to ask any questions. And I do want to say, I think all of my colleagues and all of us in the admissions world have talked about this. We know that this is a weird year, right? We know that this is a very unique and interesting year for all of you guys, especially those of you who are starting to make that transition from high school to college. So just know that there's all this information that's out there. And I know that specifically we talked about the 5 things that make a small school worth it, so to speak, or our 5 favorite things. But I think one of the things that also is very important is to get to know us, right? I said that earlier in the very first slide, but get to know us. We're people, we're real. We want to have these relationships with you. I know that sometimes we do send out a lot of emails and a lot of phone calls and a lot of text messages, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. But I promise you, it's all for good intentions. We just want to make sure that we're making this transition as seamless as possible. And I promise you, the more you get to know us, especially the schools that you're really considering, the easier this process is going to be. So I just want you guys to kind of have that little bit of ease and breathe a little bit easier to know that we understand what you guys are going through, and we are here to help in any way that we possibly can. That's why we're all here today doing this presentation.
Doug, I would say that that's actually a benefit of the small college that we we didn't put in there, right? We talked about the faculty members, and we talked about the career placement, we talked about the foundation and what you get when you get to the college piece to it, plus the alumni connections and the lifelong connection to that. But it really starts with the relationship with your admissions counselor. We can really cater to your concerns, cater to your needs, and so it's a phenomenal point actually to talk about.
And also on that, from personal experience, my admissions counselor going to my college was actually, I was with her for all 4 years when I was a student ambassador at the school. And when I was looking for jobs, she was also a reference of mine, and we still connect and talk today. So those connections really do go a long way. Even as an admissions counselor for only 2 years, I still have students from my first year who text or email and ask questions and are just checking up and seeing how we are doing and stuff. So we're humans, we're people, we're here for you. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. Even if, I know we've said our territories and where we recruit, but if you are not from any of our territories, that's okay too. We will just still be here for you. It doesn't matter what county you're from, what city you're from, state as well. We're still here for you no matter what.
So it doesn't look like we have too many questions or any other questions that are coming in. So guys, I think speaking for everybody, we do encourage you, take a picture of this screen right here, get to know us, check us out on social media. That's been huge for a lot of the colleges right now. I think we still have about 4 minutes left in this presentation, and I know that nobody wants to sit here in awkward silence. So please do put in those questions if you have them. We have a question, not really a question, but a thank you to everybody. Thank you guys for joining, everybody who kind of stayed through this. We appreciate it. I know that there's so many different things that you guys could be doing right now. So to learn a little bit more about the college process is going to benefit you guys greatly. So we appreciate you guys all coming out.
So I think StriveScan 41. So I think the StriveScan company is going to, or the volunteer is going to come back in and give a last slide. There's a survey. And I think we're calling. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Kiana, Zach, and Michelle, and Morgan. But I always feel like I'm on a show when I say everybody's names out loud. So I think they're supposed to come back on. Yeah, there we go. I'm like, I think.
Yes, here I am.
And I love it.
Thank
It
you all.
shows up as StriveScan 41. So I would be calling you by name.
My name is Stacy. I apologize for that.
No, that's right. You said that, Stacy. Sorry about that.
Yes. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us. When you close the window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide by answering those short questions for us. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at NJACAC.org/virtual fair. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as others sessions recordings at that same NJACAC.org/virtual fair. Thank you again, and have a wonderful rest of your day.